stream. I'm indoors. First time see me indoors. I hope all is well with you. Let's see here. So right now it is 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. What is this? Yeah. Give me a second, everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna figure all of this out one day. Oh, I think I figured it out. I figured it out. Finally, embracing life. I figured it out, girl. Let's go with, I'll be nice. I'll do 5 minutes. I'll do 5 minutes. Limits for specific people. So no worries. All right. I think we are in business. Sorry about that, everybody. So today's live stream is about a video that I saw on YouTube. A woman posted on her YouTube channel. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope you all are doing well today. I didn't get my exercise in today, but I made sure I took my vitamin D and vitamin B. So where I live, it gets cold and it gets dark, and it's very important to get your vitamin D and your vitamin B in. Take a multivitamin, especially if you feel like you would not normally get all the nutrients you need in your body. Take a multivitamin, and definitely if you live in a cold area that doesn't get a lot of you guys, pardon me, I'm trying to get the camera right. If you live in an area that gets snow or is cold all the time, I definitely highly recommend you guys do a vitamin D and vitamin B12. It helps with your mood, and it just helps with your mental health, okay? But I'm not an expert. Always consult with your doctor before taking any supplements or minerals or vitamins. Okay, so there's a woman that made a video about her husband. I don't know if they're divorced now. I never knew about this woman until I was randomly just on YouTube and I saw that my eyes are dry. I think I need to get some eye drops. Yeah. Anyway, so the woman who made the video, her name is, or her channel name is Isis. That's ISIS. And this is her video. Let me see. Oops, I need to put it. Okay, so that's the video we're talking about. So basically, I'm gonna still encourage you guys to go watch the video, but basically her husband met her when she was a single mom. And apparently, if I'm getting the story right, feel free to leave a comment. But her husband met her when she was a single mom and she had already had 2 children. So I'll try to sum it up for you. So basically, one day she was, mind you, her channel was big on teaching women how to be a wife and stuff like that. So she was big on trying to teach women the tips and tricks on how to be a wife. So one day she said she was changing her daughter, and it looks like her daughter said ow or something like that. Her mom was like, oh, does it hurt? And she's like, yeah, it hurts me. And she said, like, what happened? Did somebody touch you? And she said, yeah, daddy. So long story short, after, little her investigating on her own, she found out that her daughter was being um, touched by her husband and her. So basically, she had two daughters. She had other children, but the two in question are two girls. So two girls were sexually abused. Two children were sexually abused by her husband. I don't know the age, but they're young. Young enough for her to be changing them. You know what I'm saying? So they were young children. I encourage you to go watch the video. I am going to leave the description. I'm going to leave the link in my description, so check it out. So she said after it looks like she went to the hospital. She took her daughters to the hospital to get checked out and everything. And so she decided that she had to leave immediately after they confirmed, I guess, that they were sexually abused. So she was very smart in the fact that she didn't tell him that she was leaving him. She didn't confront him because it could be a very dangerous situation. The two girls are 2 and 4. Thank you, Embracing Life. Okay, so I appreciate that. So two young girls. So basically, so yeah, she said, I'm going to leave. So this is what she did. And this is what you should do. If you're in a domestic violence situation or you're worried about your safety of your child, have a safety plan. So she didn't have a safety plan, but she basically kind of tricked him. She was like, oh, it's Halloween time, so I'm gonna go take the kids and we're gonna go costume shopping. So that was her big excuse. She didn't think that it would raise any alarms with him, so she went to pretend that she went to go shopping, and then she left. I cannot remember where she went. I don't know if she went to her mom's house or where she went exactly, but she left the situation. And I probably should watch the video again to refresh my memory. But long story short, she's no longer with the husband. I don't know if they have divorced. She didn't say that they got a divorce, but I'm pretty sure she should be in the process of divorcing him. And that's the only other way to do it. So she was very emotional in the video. Like I said, I wasn't subscribed to her before. But apparently, like I said, she was making videos about women, about how to be a good wife. And she hadn't posted in like 8 months. So like she had the baby and everything, and she wasn't posting that whole time. So she was just busy with life and her new baby. So I'm really proud of her for supporting her child, sticking up for her daughter, and packing up and leaving, because there's too many mothers. I don't know how many mothers it is, but there's a good enough amount of mothers who don't believe their children, who accuse them of being a liar, who will say things like, oh, maybe it was just a dream. Are you sure? Or no, he could never do that. She immediately believed her daughter, which is the right thing for a mother to do. You have any clues or any suspicion that your child is being sexually abused, you need to act swiftly. So I give her A plus 5 stars for her not, allowing, I don't know, whatever, to make her feel like, oh, my daughter is too young to understand what this is and she might be lying. My husband would never do that. So I'm gonna give her a star for that. Embracing Life, real quick though, honestly, it's kind of weird not having a whole bunch of people in the chat, but it makes it easier for me to get my thoughts out. You guys, if you're my subscriber, feel free to leave a comment how you feel about the story. But anyway, so I really am proud of her. It's a hard situation to go through. Your husband that you thought was this great man and this great provider is sexually abusing your children. Like, how do you... She was in tears. The video, she's in tears, and I will be in tears too. But I'm just glad that she's crying out the door. She's not pretending like nothing happened and ignoring red flags. So I don't follow her in her actions, really. The only thing I would critique in the situation is that... I must be hearing things. The only thing I would critique in her situation is that she is putting her daughter's information out there to the public, We may not know her daughters. I don't watch her videos to know like who what the daughters even look like. But if she has shown her daughters before, and people who know her and she knows the daughters, they know the daughters, they're gonna put two and two together. Okay, well, she has two daughters, so they're talking about them. So she's putting the story out there as a public awareness and just to like inform her subscribers, but at the same time, she's putting her daughter's business out in the public. They may not understand the information now, what's going on, but one day they're gonna get old enough to see the videos and be like, man, my mom told everybody that I was sexually abused. I know they're going to be proud of her for supporting them, but I wouldn't want the world to know that I was sexually abused in such, specifically too. But awareness is good. I'm just big on protecting children. And even though she did the right thing by protecting them, by taking them out of that situation, I just kind of wish she didn't, you know, I don't know. It's a tough situation. I mean, just think about if you grow up, if you're a kid and you grow up and you see that your mom made a video about sexual assaults that happened to you. It's like she's telling their story for them, but they wouldn't really remember. That's a really young age, but you can remember. There's children who can remember at a young age. I doubt the 2-year-old will remember, but I'm pretty sure the 4-year-old will remember this for the rest of her life, and that's very traumatic. So I just kind of wish it was done in a private way because they're so young. Like maybe they were older and they remembered, and she was like, "Do you guys want to make a video about it as a way to educate the public?" I would understand that better, but because she kind of just took the power away from them and shared the story. But either way, I'm glad she left the abuser, the predator. She didn't talk about charges. She didn't talk about if he's in jail, he's in prison, or what's happening. I hope he's somewhere because for her safety, he could try to come after her because an abuser is not going to take too kindly to you telling their business. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that she's well. Ashley W says 2 years, can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, 2 years, can't remember. I guess I meant to say it's really hard to remember at that age, but yeah, 2-year-old can definitely remember something like that. So I didn't mean to say it wrong. Like a 2-year-old, I meant to say like a 2-year-old probably would remember it, but it's definitely possible to remember something that happened to you at 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. Thank you, Ashley W, for that. Mahi, how can I stop reading everybody's name all the time? Hi, Mahi. Yes, I'm doing fine. Ashley says it's more like a residual trauma that they may not know exactly what happened, but the trauma is still there. Yes, the trauma is still there. It was a sad video. If you guys get the chance to watch it, go ahead and check it out. I really feel bad for the mom, and it makes me just feel bad not feel bad as a single mom. The video basically reminded me like, girl, that's why you need to be careful, because there are men who prey on single moms. There are men who prey on single moms to go to the children. So ladies, if you're a single mother, don't think that he's so into you, especially if he's so eager to like, because from what I read, they didn't know each other that long, and then they just, they hooked up and they got married. It was really fast. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, everybody, but from what I read on a comment or somewhere else, they hadn't known each other too long. But either way, whether they knew each other for 10 years or 1 month, what he did was wrong. And as single parents, we have to be very careful who we bring into the lives of our children, because they're not going to be able to be like, no, mom, I don't want you to be with him. Children lose power, once a parent has all the control, to decide who comes in the door, who comes out the door. So it's just very important to be very vigilant. Like, I'm team don't leave your partner alone with your child. I'm big on that. Mahi says, I'm from Australia in Brisbane City, my town in India. Yeah, I remember you, Mahi. Yeah, Brisbane. Yeah. it's hard for me to speak on this story because I don't want to feel like I'm like any type of judgment or anything like that, because my eyes are really dry, y'all. Let me go get some eye drops. Let me get some eye drops. Great. Now it's gonna look like I was crying. It's about to look like I was crying. Anyway, it's a very sensitive, tough situation, but I'm really proud of the mom for leaving the abusive husband. You know, too many mothers stay with abusive people, and their children suffer. Always believe children. Always believe children. And, you know, the little girl didn't go to her mom and say anything. The mom was observant. She noticed that her daughter said "ow," you know, to her vaginal area when she was changing her. You guys don't mind me. My eyes are like. Let me try to use this phone to see the comments because I feel like hold on, you all. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let me see what you're saying. Mahi says my restaurant. Oh yeah, I remember. My restaurant in Brisbane, City Deer, you check out online. Okay. I'm not gonna be in Brisbane anytime soon, Mahi, but if anybody is in the area of Brisbane City, Mahi has a restaurant. It's called Deer Duck Bistro. So if you guys like Indian food and stuff like that, go check it out. But yeah, I just wanted to make the video about it because I'm just really proud of the mom for doing what needed to be done. I was just only like a little bit concerned about the children, about how their privacy will be exposed. You know what I'm saying? That was my only thing about their privacy. But it is what it is. Like, she's protecting her children and she's not hiding anything. She's doing the right thing. It's so humiliating as a mother. I can only imagine to know that the partner that you chose is an abuser. You anytime you come. Thank you, Mahi. Thank you, Mahi. Maybe let me see something, everybody. Hold on. I think I might change it to something else. I'll do 1 minute. I'll do 1 minute. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Nick VR official. Nick VR official 2 Big PP ring. I don't know what that is. What is that? What is that, Nick VR? What are you talking about? Are you adding to the conversation? I'm gonna have to put you in a little timeout. I appreciate you supporting my channel, but you're doing a little bit too much, okay? But I appreciate the support. Meyer says hi. Hi. Mahi says I'm your small sister. What do you mean you're my small sister, Mahi? But what do you guys think about this story? Do you think the mom was completely right in making a public YouTube video about her child abuser of a husband, you know? Apparently she didn't see any signs. She honestly thought he was like she couldn't, you know, she was so shocked she couldn't believe it. But what do you guys think? Do you think her approach was right? Meyer says your look so hot. Thank you, Meyer. But yeah, I'm not here to criticize the mom. She did the right thing. But this is a story to help other moms learn the signs to be on guard, you know, when you're dating, what to look for, and just to be very cautious about who you bring around your child. I don't really know for sure how long she knew the man before before she introduced him to the children, or before they even got married. I know it's hard out there being single, but it's just not worth it to rush in and to be, you know, to run through any red flags, because this is what it can happen. You can let the wrong person into your home and they can abuse your children, and that's a lifetime of trauma. Like, they're never going to forget about that. They're never going to forget that someone sexually abused them. They're never going to forget that mom's husband abused me. You know, what I do like is that the mom stood up for them. She acted swiftly. She took the right steps. So they will remember that their mom protected them. And I just love her for that. I love moms that protect their children. It's very important. If you want to truly show your child that you love them, protect them to the best of your ability. Don't be like, oh, are you sure? If your child comes to you and says somebody's touching me or abusing me, or you suspect that somebody's hurting your child, don't be like, are you sure this happened to you? Or what did you do? Or what were you wearing? Or, oh, you're just being too grown. Or, oh, he would never do that. Like, don't say that kind of stuff to your children. Believe children. No, I don't like earrings, Mahi. David Bunch of Numbers says, I gotta love going into random streams and seeing weird people in the chats. Yeah, David Bunch of Numbers, it could be very interesting. Meyer says, please. Please what, Meyer? What are you talking about? Come closer? No, I don't like I don't like to be too close. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. But that's one of my biggest fears when it comes to, I don't date, by the way, but that when it comes to dating and trying to introduce people to your children, people to your children, it's scary. And her video just made, me like just not feel bad for being so selective, and not feel bad for being, secluding myself. And because our children are like our number one priority, and like if they're hurt or abused, like even if we didn't mean for them to get hurt or abused, it falls on our lap because we are their number one protector. We're their number one provider. So it's like it falls on you, you know? But like I said, she did the right thing. And I hope that her video, I've seen it going viral. I've seen her video going viral. I hope that it brings more awareness to single moms and just single parents in general, because a man could be a single dad with two boys and meet a woman, and the woman is abuser, and the woman abuses the children. It could happen to either gender, either sex. So when you're dating with children, you just have to be careful. Like I always say, push off them meeting your children as long as possible. No need to rush, you know what I'm saying? Take your time. I say to be safe 1 year, but I know that 6 months is a decent time, but I say 1 year. If somebody is like super eager to meet your children, I feel like that's a red flag. You just be like, hey, I'm not ready to introduce you to them yet, and blah, blah, blah. And they should be like, okay, I get it, I understand. But it's like, oh, are you sure? I really want to meet little Sarah and little Susie. You know, when they're extra about that, ladies, that's a red flag. And men, that's a red flag. If a woman is super eager to meet your children and like they don't want to wait and they're acting like they know them already, it's a red flag for me. I understand that everybody's not a sexual abuser. Some are just extra, but just be smart and safe. Be smart and safe. So I don't play that. And when they always want to see your kid and like, oh, I'm here because I want to see Sally and Susie today, and you know, stuff like that. And if it feels wrong in your heart, in your gut, that something is wrong about somebody, don't ignore it. Look at your children's body language. If they're acting scared or afraid when your partner comes around or uneasy, like talk to your children like, hey, is everything okay? You know, is the person making you feel weird? Did anything happen I need to know about? You know, you need to ask your children straight up, do they like your partner? There's some people who feel like, oh, what I like is what I like, and it's my life, it's my life. When my children are gone, this is my life. I have to live by myself. But you have to talk to your children about your partner, because they may have said, your partner may have said something to your children that they don't like. They may have done something that you didn't see or hear. Talk to your children, have an open relationship with them. In this case, with the woman who made the video, the ISIS lady, her children were super young, but you can still talk to your children as long as a child is able to use words. Talk to them about good touch, bad touch. Um, no, don't keep secrets. Tell mommy everything. Don't let anyone touch your private areas, and don't just say private areas. Like, you gotta say your vagina, your penis, your butt. You know, you gotta say those words so children can understand what it is. Mario says, I want to see. You are seeing me. I'm on camera. David says, Mario, I'm sure you can see her just fine. The other 22 people can. But what I can do is, you guys know I like to Google things and look stuff up. So I'm going to look up some red flags in partners that are like sexual abusers. So like red flags for child sexual predators. Okay, so there's a website called Darkness to Light and Child Sexual Abuse. And let me show y'all what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at right here. Okay. So it says child grooming is a deliberate process by which offenders gradually initiate and maintain sexual relationships with victims in secrecy. Grooming allows offenders to slowly overcome natural boundaries long before sexual abuse. On the surface, grooming a child can look like a close relationship between the offending adult, the targeted child, and potentially the child's caregivers. The grooming process is often misleading because the offender may be well known or highly regarded in the community. As a result, it's easy to trust them. I say don't trust anybody. Okay, hold on. You guys feel free to leave a comment and how you feel about this. I'm not going to read everything because it's a lot, but I will say here are a few red flags. Special attention preference to a child. Offenders are often seen pressing boundaries and breaking rules, but are rarely caught in the act of abusing a child. When you see a boundary being crossed, describe the inappropriate behavior or boundary violation to the person who has crossed it. Have family rules about when and how adults engage with children. Mario, what are you saying please about? I'm already close enough. I don't want to have to put you in timeout. I really appreciate your support, but please, I'm not going to get any closer, okay? Let's see here. Example, we don't let Jimmy go to the movies alone without a parent. Gift giving. Gift giving of any expense, large or small, is a grooming technique used to flatter children and their families into trusting the individual. Be vigilant. If another adult is overly interested in your child and family, consider this a red flag. Example, it is so generous that you give Chloe this jewelry, but we only allow gifts on birthdays. Um, Touching or hugging the child. Are you guys with me? I don't see any comments. Perpetrators will test the limits by starting to introduce touch into the relationship. They might put their arm around the child or asking for a hug to see how the child reacts. Maria says, I am weird, David. Okay, whatever. Anyways, perpetrators will test the limits by starting to introduce touch into the relationship. They might put their arm around the child or asking for a hug to see how the child reacts. They may do this in front of other adults. If the caregiver does not intervene or object and the child is uncomfortable, it can confuse the child on what type of touch is appropriate. Teach your kids about body autonomy and let them know it's okay to say no to adults. That's very important, y'all. Example, it looks like you are forcing Annie to hug you. She looks uncomfortable. Please stop. We let Annie decide if and how she wants to show affection. When grooming of a minor takes place, the offender will listen to the child when they are excited or upset. They will start to build barriers between the child and their parents and friends by telling them they care for them more than anyone else. Be open with your kids. Let them know that even people they love can hurt them. Tell your children you are there for them and they can tell you anything. Be open and listen to them, even when the days are hectic. Okay. Hi, Nick VR. I'm speaking English. Example, surprises make people happy. We don't want to keep a secret though, because secrets can make people upset or unhappy. If anyone wants to keep a secret, tell mommy or daddy. You can tell us anything. So honestly, this story is reminding me, this part about the grooming of, what am I talking about? This part about, isolating the child from everybody else and telling the child that you love them more than everybody else reminds me of Stephen Stearns. You guys know I talked about the Madeline Soto case a lot. Stephen Stearns basically, it's like he thrived off of the bad relationship that Madeline Soto and Jennifer Soto had. Like he thrived off. Let me see. He thrived off of the dysfunction. Like, oh, they're fighting. Oh, your mom's mad at you. You're mad at your mom. Come with me. Come, let's hang out. So yeah, Stephen Stearns definitely used that, being a fake listener, a fake sympathizer. He was just grooming Madeline Soto. All right. Offers to help the family. The individual will offer to, I can't even talk today. The individual will offer to do special things or help the caregivers to gain alone time with the child. Be sure to let other adults know that you do not approve of being alone with your child without your permission or knowledge. Check in regularly so other adults know you are watching. Drop in unexpectedly on a babysitter. Stay for the entire soccer practice, even until the last child leaves. Nick, are you okay? Leg drop, says the abuser. Leg drop says the abuser 98% of the time is a brother or uncle or someone real close in your family who you trust. I'm gonna pin that because you're right. Most of the time, people are abused by someone close, just like leg drop says. Um, Gaining access via the internet. Perpetrators will often pretend to be someone they aren't to gain access to kids online. They will pretend to share similar interests to gain trust, grooming them online. Know who your kids are talking to online. That's something that even I, as a parent, struggle with because it's like you're trying to keep up with technology, you're trying to keep up with the parental controls and all this stuff. Like you got to be on top of things, and it's not easy. So that's something that we all, as parents, got to work on in this digital world. Like children are very smart and hip, so you got to kind of like try your best to stay up with them and do random checks and random pop-ins and stuff like that. Example, monitor what apps your children use and have limits to when and where they can use their devices. Perhaps at night, tablets, phones, and computers live in the caregiver's room. Yup, for my children at night when it's bedtime, all of the electronics go in the kitchen. All of it. No one keeps anything in their bedroom at all. Um, so yeah, that was just my little, I will try to leave this in the video description, but I'm proud of the channel Isis, like I said, for standing up for her children and getting her children away from the abuse, acting fast. I just hope that her children are going to be okay. I hope that her daughters that were sexually abused, excuse me, I got a burp. I just hope that her daughters that were sexually abused will get a child psychologist to talk to them on a regular basis. I'm sure that's in the works or she already did that. I just hope that has been done because the earlier the better. You know, prevention is better than the cure. So obviously she wasn't able to stop the abuse, but she's going to prevent further abuse. And so not since they're so young, there's a chance for them to have a healthy life, you know. But when you don't help children early on, no one is picking up on the signs. They're being abused for years and years and years and years. It's very detrimental to the child's mental health. So I'm just, like I said before, applause to Isis. You know, the video is called My Husband is a Monster. It's called My Husband is a Monster. I already put the video in my live description. Bye, Mario. Hey, Ashley, thanks for sticking around. Yeah, he's right. So, yeah, I really just had a minor fault with the video. Like I said, is that I just worry about her children business being exposed, but that's minor because she did the right thing by protecting her children. And I think she felt like she would be a fraud to continue to make videos about, oh, how to be a good wife, how to be this for perfect husband. And her husband that she's being the good wife for is a sexual abuser. I think so many people are focused on finding love, finding affection, whatever, that they kind of forget that you could be running into the arms of a child abuser. So it's just not worth it. Like I always say in some of my videos, I get it. Like as an adult, it could be hard being alone and you want affection, attention, all that stuff. But if you're really a kind of person who really needs sexual attention, I highly advise you to do that stuff away from your children. Like you don't have to introduce everyone to your children. Your children don't have to meet everybody that you date. Your children don't need to meet everybody that you're having sexual activities with. Like put that meeting off for a very long time. I say a year for good measure. But if you really feel like, oh, everything's right, I'd say at least 6 months. And even then do a background check, you know, look them up on child abuse, the sex abuse registry. And I honestly feel like you need to hire a private detective when you have children. I don't care. It might be dramatic to some people. But when it comes to the safety of your children, do everything you need to do. So if moving forward for my life, that's something I would do. I have hired a private investigator before, but I'm not going to get into it. But I would hire one to look into someone who's trying to date me. And I have children. If anybody hurts my children, I can't blame anybody more than me. Because even though the abuser did what they did, as a mother, I allowed the abuser in my children's life. So ultimately, I opened the door. You know what I'm saying? The abuser will always be wrong. But I would hold myself accountable because maybe I missed a red flag. Maybe I wasn't checking enough right. I couldn't live with it. I couldn't live with knowing that my child has to suffer for the rest of their life because of something that I did. Like, life is hard enough. Life is hard enough being a parent and trying to parent and heal and grow and then raise children, and then to add abuse into the mix, like from another person, like it's just too much. I'm trying to read the comment. Leg drop says also the abuser isn't the boogeyman like most people think. A lot of these cases, the abusers are pillars of society in the communities and well respected teachers, pastors, doctors, etc. Boom, leg drop. Leg drop, you're the real MVP. It's so true. And like the last video I did about the survivors of childhood abuse, I think my video is called Caribbean Men Share Their Story of Child Sexual Abuse. These men were sexually abused by a so-called preacher. I call him a pedo preacher. Yeah, he was just like, everybody loved him. Like, he was prominent in society. He had degrees. He was smart. He was attractive, I guess. And they were treating this man like he was a god. You know, he was like, oh yes, let me bring your child to accompany me to this, that, and that. Oh, yes. They threw their children at this sexual abuser. People were throwing their children at the sexual abuser, and he did exactly what he wanted to do. He took advantage of the children. Abusers love when you're just like so quick to just give your child away. Oh yes, oh yeah, take him, go ahead. Yes, 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 yes. Take her. Oh yeah, she can go. She can go. Abusers love loose parenting. Abusers love it when you're just free and like there's no boundaries. They know that you don't talk to your children about good touch, bad touch. They can tell. So yeah, the video I did, it was about a preacher who abused many boys and no one believed them. And I don't know, it's because, there's many reasons why people don't believe people, but they were older boys, but regardless, they were children. They were in their teens. And I think that is why I think some sick people have it in their head that because you're a teenager, that you knew what you were doing, you can consent, you were being fast, you were being grown. A teenager is still a teenager. A teenager is still a teenager. Please stop with this BS about a teen is grown and young. They're still under their parents' roof. They're not adults. I don't care what country you live in, 18 and up. 18 and up is an adult. And even then it's like a baby adult because their brain is not fully developed until their mid 20s. So a child is a child. There's too many people preying on young people and preying on their parent who is loose, who's lax, who's mentally unstable, who's financially unstable, and they want to throw money at the parent and come in like they're the savior and all this stuff like that. But leg drop, you are so on point. You are so on point. It's the people that people would not suspect is doing the abuse. Like, oh, so and so could never do that. Uncle Bobby could never do that. Pastor Billy could never do that. I trust him. He's a man of God. He's a man of God. Look how many churches and priests got to pay out these kids and because of the sexual abuse. We are in 2024. People need to stop acting crazy like they don't know that people of God, men of God, or women of God is abusing. Anytime you have a job that centers around children or that you are always around children, they need to be on high alert to watch them. Teachers, we need to be watching them good. Coaches, we need to be watching them good. Preachers, pastors, let in the comments, leave a comment, let me know what other professions you feel that they work with children a lot and they should be scrutinized way more. Why is it okay to assume that because a person works with children, they're around children, that they actually like children? There are people who gravitate to jobs. There are sexual abusers who gravitate to jobs to be around children. Like, ding, 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 ding. Why aren't people getting it yet? You hear the stories about teachers having sexual relationship with their students, abusing the children. Like, it happens all the time. People in positions of power and in taking care of children or teaching, helping children, you just got to look out for them. Like, I personally don't trust anybody. Okay. There's people who I'll say I would highly doubt, but I'm not going to be like, no, they would never, because you don't know what goes on people's brains. You don't know the traumas people have been through. You don't know what they've been through. You need to get to know people. I don't know whether it's a romantic partner, a friendship. Before you bring people around your children, you need to like truly investigate them. Ask the tough questions. Know about their background, their history. Oh, okay, really? Do scenarios and see how they answer it. Don't just be so free and open. Like, our children's lives, I don't know. I feel like I'm probably going off, but that video was really sad. Like, you know how like the algorithm pushes certain content out to you? When she said that my husband is a monster, I honestly never thought she was going to say that he sexually abused her children. I thought she was going to say he's a monster because he cheated, with the adult, or he stole their money, or I honestly didn't think that. But even one of the videos I did a long time ago, like a year ago, about a girl that lives in the UK, and the title of the video is Her Father is a Monster, and she calls her father a monster. I would try to link that video. Any videos of children being abused by their parent, I'm going to link it that I've done a video about, because I've done at least 3 or 4 videos of women who came out and talked about their father sexually abusing them. So yeah, I'm going to pin all of them. People get so comfortable and be like, oh, I never would have thought that your dad, or like Leg Drop said, okay, it's the people that you don't expect. Who would have thought that cousin Billy would do that? Who would have thought? But they're the ones, because they have the most access to your children. Think about it. It really isn't like Leg Drop says. It's not the boogeyman. We have been taught that be careful when you go down the street. Look and see who it is. Yes, there are sex offenders out there everywhere you go, but it's harder for them to get to your child when they're just a neighbor, or you see them in passing. But when they have easier access to your child, that's the one you need to watch out for. Yeah, just don't get lazy with your children. Like, there's no perfect parenting. We can really truly do our best, and something might slip through the track. But make sure you're doing it. Make sure that it's almost like they would have to be invisible for them to get past you. You feel me? Because yeah, that's why I highly advise that people just do their adult activities away from their children, because as long as you bring another person around your children, you don't know what's happening. And then for those of us who have our children in the public school system, or any school system that someone is around your children, you don't know what's going on when you're at work or the child is at school. That's why you got to talk to your children, because like I said before, there are teachers who abuse children. They like, oh, little Billy, you want to stay after school and I can help you with your homework, and whatever. Oh, I can give you a ride home. No one's here to pick you up. I can give you a ride home. There are teachers like that, you know. Let me see what the comments are saying. Leg Drop says people who like having control over others and being in power of the situation all the time is something to keep an eye on. Child abusers like the power and control they have over their victim. I agree, Leg Drop. Leg Drop is dropping bombs in the chat. Like, it's for real. You're right. You're on point, Leg Drop. I mean, we just got to do our best, y'all. It needs to be a public service announcement. It needs to be a public service announcement to protect children. It's just not, I don't, it's almost like the predators are in charge of the education system or the public service system, because why isn't more information going out there about child abusers? You guys, real talk. When I was a child, I um, was taught about the DARE program. I don't know if you guys know about that. The DARE program is about drugs, and I think it's called Dare to Keep Children Off Drugs. I'm gonna look it up. Leave a comment in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. So the DARE program worked on me. They talked about drugs and, oh, stay away from drugs, just say no to drugs, just the whole just say no to drugs campaign. I believe it was started by Ronald Reagan's wife. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, y'all. Say what you want about them, but that's the only thing I will say. I did approve of that program. I don't approve of any, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Propaganda stuff. But the Say No to Drugs program worked on me. It kept me off drugs, okay? What I'm saying is I think that they should have a say no to some, I don't know, just say no to sex or something. I know they have abstinence stuff, but I'm talking about there needs to be a program to teach children about predators. We teach children about drugs and say no and stranger danger, but the school, I feel, needs to do a better job of teaching children about sexual abuse, because some children, their only safe haven is school. Some children come to school and have a relief from the abuser. Some children are living with their abusers every day, every night. They're being abused, and when they go to school, that's their safe space, and no one is picking up on the signs. People are ignoring the signs of abused child. So I feel like there needs to be a more, leave a comment if your country or your state or your school system does that. But from being raised and from my children, there's not enough information about children knowing the red flags of an abuser, about children speaking up about abuse and good touch, bad touch. It seems like the school feels like a sensitive topic, but it's a necessary topic. My daughter's school, I think they did a thing where they came to the school and talked about, like, online bullying and, like, sexting and stuff like that, which is very good information, but they also need to educate children about abuse in the home and outside the home. And children, teachers are mandated reporters, so they're supposed to be picking up on signs. But look what happened to Madeline Soto. She was just sad, anxiety attacks, all kind of stuff was going on with her, and people missed the red flags, and she was being abused for years by her mother's boyfriend. Leg Drop says they'll use tactics like, if you tell your mom or dad, I'll hurt myself or I'll hurt them, and boom, they have control over the victim. You're right, Leg Drop. And I saw a video recently. I don't know if it was a reel or stream, something, and people in the comments was saying, I'm going to try to pin that video to this live, and they were saying, don't believe the abuser's children. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to hurt their mom. And I know that's a fear for a child. Children don't want to get hurt. They want to feel safe and escape from danger. So it's easy for a child to believe that the abuser will hurt them or their parent if they tell. But you cannot believe the abuser. Like Leg Drop says, they use those tactics, but we have to teach our children to pretend that you're listening to the abuser. If you get in a situation like that, like, okay, I won't tell anyone. As soon as you get to safety, you tell mom and dad. Don't keep secrets like that. Good and safe adults do not keep secrets. Okay? Safe people don't say things like, don't tell. If your parent don't know about it, that's a red flag, okay? So I always try to teach my children about stuff like that. Tell me everything. And that's why it's really good to have a good relationship with your child. It really is. And if you have messed up as a parent before, it's not too late. As long as your child is under the age of 18, it's not too late to help them and to bond better with them. You know what I'm saying? It's not too late. Don't give up on them. Don't give up on your children. I'm about to get emotional, but I'm not going to get emotional. Don't give up on your children. Even in the rough, the tough years, don't give up on them, because you giving up on them allows them to be so vulnerable to abuse. Abusers, they love they love depressed children. They love neglected children. They love a busy parent. They love a distracted parent. That's how they get in there. Oh, your mom and dad is not spending any time with you. Oh, you know, they use that. They use that. I was gonna look up something I can't remember. I don't even remember. Oh, okay, DARE, the DARE program. I want to let you guys know what I'm talking about. What DARE stand for, DARE. I would love to be a person who's a part of the movement where it's like the sexual abuse version of DARE. I don't know what we will call it, but I would love to be on the team that comes up with ideas to educate children in schools about sexual abuse. We need a huge change. It's just not enough. Children, people, might think that, oh, that happened a long time ago, where these things don't happen anymore. Education is better now. People are being more educated. No, children are still being abused. There's a child being abused right now as we speak. As long as there's people on the earth, as long as there's people with mental health issues and there's abuse, the cycle is not going to stop, unfortunately. So their program was called Drug Resistant. Let me click off of this. Drug Resistant Education. So this is the program that worked on me. I didn't do any drugs as a kid. Like, I didn't do any. I was like, no, I don't want to be on drugs. I don't want to be on crack. I don't want to be on cocaine. So what I'm saying is, the way that worked on me, I was a very impressionable child, and I just wish there was a program out there for sexual abuse that could have really helped me and help other people. So yeah, that was a program that I believe started in the 80s, and I think they ended in the... Oh, they said it's still around. They said not only is there still around, it's growing with education programs in every state in America and 50 plus other countries. Okay, okay. I love that. But we need a DARE type program for sexual abuse. Somebody made a comment. Give me a second to look at it. What time is it? Okay. All right. Leg Drop says, or they'll blackmail the child. Say if it's a family member and you have a rule for your child where he can't eat a cookie out of the jar, the abuser sees him, gets a cookie, and uses it against them. If you tell, I'll tell you ate a cookie out of the cookie jar. Leg Drop is really knowledgeable. I appreciate you in the chat. Yes, Leg Drop. See, this is kind of people I like in my chats. People who are adding to it. We don't know it all, but add to it. When I'm talking about a serious topic like this, I really don't like the BS that goes on in the chat. And that's why I do have it on subscriber mode, like for 1 minute at least, because I just want some people who want to be here for this type of topic. This is a series. It's not a game. Children are being neglected. Children are being abused right now, every day. We need to educate ourselves and educate the public. So I just, as long as I'm here on earth, I'm gonna do my best to be a part of a change. We got to do better. As a survivor, I was failed by my family. I was failed by school, the church, and I don't want to fail my children. I do my best with them to educate them, to be aware, to, you know what I'm saying? And I want others to be on top of it too. Like, being a parent is a very big job. A lot of us, we got involved with being a parent either by accident, or we thought we were ready and you really didn't realize how parenting is hard. Parenting is hard. You can't be lazy as a parent. It's like some people think that parenting is easy. Like, oh, all you gotta do is feed you and make sure you have somewhere to sleep and you have clothes on your body and go to school. There's more to parenting than the basic necessities. You have to nurture their mind. You have to spend time with your children. Like, I understand people are busy making money, making ends meet, but you have to bond with your children. Because if you don't bond, the predators are going to bond with your child. Okay? Predators are looking for you to be neglectful, for you to be tired and slack. They're trying to pick up where you're leaving off on, and they're gonna abuse it. Leg drop says the best advice I can give to people is to just not let your children out of your eyesight. Keep cameras in the communal areas of your house if you have family members around. I am about to tear up, and I'm trying not to. Leg drop. I'm trying not to. This is a sensitive topic, and it's really deep. Don't let family members take your kid to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm not. I don't play that. I've been telling, like, my son, he's the younger of my child, and I have to work on him. Like, baby, privacy is very important. You have a right to privacy. Don't let anybody feel like, and even me, I tell my children, you have a right to tell me when I'm wrong. You have a right to tell me that I did something that you don't like. Give your children a voice. Make them know that they have a right to tell you something that they don't like about you. You got to be able to, your children have to be able to check you. You can't act like you're unstoppable, you're untouchable. Like, they got to be able to relate to you and to know that you're a safe parent. Whew, I just got emotional a little bit because I care so much about children. I care so much about my children. And I wish that I had me when I was a kid. I have grown into a woman that would have protected me when I was a kid. And it's just not enough people out there being vigilant. People mind their business when they shouldn't, and they don't mind their business when they should not. Like, you know what I'm saying? People are big on, mind your business. What happens in my house stays in my house. Or what happens in their house stays in your house. No. Anytime there's any type of suspicion or any idea that somebody's being abused, baby, I'm not being quiet. I'm not gonna mind my business. I'm not. When a child is involved, baby, I'm not minding my business. I'm not. I really appreciate you, Leg Drop. Like, you're the bomb. Leg Drop, do you make content? Leg Drop says, when I was young, my abuser got me with Pokemon cards and then used tactics to keep me from talking. I'll hurt your mom if you say something. It's really sad, Leg Drop, and I appreciate you sharing your story. It's not easy. It's so much I could say, but I'm not. But I definitely... Okay, you don't make content. You should one day. If you do, you will be a very helpful person. So if you ever choose to, I will support your channel. But quick story time. I'm not going to go too deep, but kind of what Leg Drop is saying. Like, one of my abusers tricked me into showing him something, and he was just like, oh, don't tell anybody that, you're showing me this. And yeah, I'm really glad I worked through that in therapy, because even though you go to therapy or counseling, like I said before in my video about the men in Caribbean, you never forget about stuff like that. The images will always be there. Even if you've learned to not get so emotional when you think of it, you can't erase the memory from your mind. Like, I really was surrounded by predators. Like, I was like a little fish in a big sea of sharks. And no one was there. No one protected me. It's messed up. And that's why I go hard about stuff like this, because I'm a survivor. I have been through so much. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so over the top, like, with my children. Because I don't want them to grow up with the feelings that I had. I don't know what I would do with myself if my child came to me and told me that somebody was abusing them and I didn't know about it, But I always talk to my children. I'm like, this someone's, look, ask questions, talk, read body language. This is really important to get to know your children, to know what's typical for them, what's not typical of them. Get to know your children. Leg Drop says, when you finally say something your own family won't believe, You. Yep. Finally said something in my 20s and I wasn't believed. And this is a guy who was on Megan's Law who has previous charge for CP. That's horrible leg drop. Some families are just trash leg drop. It was very unfortunate for us to be born into families like that. Any family who doesn't believe children or adults who come out about abuse are trash, plain and simple. If you don't believe a child when they said they're sexually abused, you're trash. You're trash. I'll tell it to your face. I'll say it behind your back. You are trash of a human being. It's not your job to this. Oh, are you telling the truth? Are you not telling the truth? You sure? Oh no, they can never do that. You're just a liar. People are sick in the head. We live in a world full of mentally unstable people, and they try to like gaslight you and make you think that you're crazy. You're not crazy. We're not crazy. They're the crazy ones. Sandy Owen says hi. Hi, Sandy. What happened to me too? What? What happened to me too? Hamster and I'm 30. What are you saying, Sandy Owens? Please explain the hamster part. What happened to me too? Hamster and I'm 13. I don't know. Please clarify what you're saying, Sandy Owens. Leg drop says, especially if you're a male. This was a male on male. My abuser was into little boy. Yep. Yep. It's sad. Like I've done several videos, a few videos. I don't do a lot because it's not a lot out there, but I've done some videos leg drop. If you get a chance to check out my videos about male sex abuse survivors. So the last video that I have posted is about men who were from the Caribbean and their family immigrated to the UK. They were in their teens when they were sexually abused by the preacher. And I have done other videos of males being abused by men. I've never done a video about a male survivor of sexual abuse that was abused by women. So all the videos I've done so far about men survivors, their abusers were male. Not to say that women do not abuse boys, they do, but I feel like a lot of times it's male on male, unfortunately. So Sandy says, what happened to me? I was abused and I was 13. Okay, Sandy, thank you so much for sharing that. Have you gotten any help for that, Sandy? Have you got any type of counseling or therapy? Did you tell anyone? I hope you're in a safe place. And I hope you know that you didn't deserve what happened to you, okay? And you guys can always reach out to the National, give me a second. I leave this information usually in my descriptions. National Center for Abused and Exploited Children. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Abused and, come on, Siri, help me out, or Google. So Sandy Owens, if you haven't got any help, I would look into looking up the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Maybe they can help you with some resources. But I always try to tell people, if you're having any suicidal thoughts or you're going through a crisis, if you're in the US, please call or text the number 988. Call or text the number 988, okay? I hope you are in a safe place, Sandy. Sandy says, I have dyslexia. No problem. No problem. I just had to clarify what you were saying because some people come into the chat and they're very off topic or they're very trolly, and I was just double checking. But I appreciate you sharing with us. That's not easy. Abusers just don't care about children. They don't care about your mental health. They just care about getting off and getting their satisfaction. It's really messed up. Anybody who knows the mind of a children and cares about children would never hurt a child. But abusers are all about them and power and me and satisfaction. It's like they're just using you, using the children to get whatever they want to get off and dispose of you. They don't care about how long it's going to take for you to recover from their abuse. They don't care. Abusers are just narcissists. Like at this point, all sexual abusers are narcissists. Let me see. I'm gonna come off soon, guys. I know I'm like been on here for a long time. I am gonna get off in like a minute. Leg drop says, okay, so Sandy says when I was younger. Okay. ADHD and bipolar. Sandy, don't give up on counseling and therapy. Don't give up. Keep going. Don't stop. Leg drop says not to make a joke of it, but the reason I started to get mad at God was because not only did he let this man abuse me, he also gifted him with a hammer, if you know what I mean. Oh, that sucks, leg drop. Honestly, leg drop, that's a part of the reason why. I'm gonna do a video about it one day, a story time. I used to go to church real heavy. I was raised in the church, but I stopped going when I felt let down by God, Jesus, whatever, the church, because I was in a place in my life where I was trying to just be happy and stay focused in church, and an abuser, like I was praying and everything for me to be happy and to get this person away from me. And I even, anyways, I don't want to get into it, but feeling let down by the church and religion um didn't help me. I see why you were you were angry, leg drop. You know, when you thought that you should have been protected and you're not, it's really hard. Let me see, what time is it? 70:43. Okay. Um Good night, Sandy Owens. Jesus Saved This says my childhood abuser attempted suicide after I told. Just teach kids adults emotions and consequences of their actions are their responsibility because of my abuse. I believe my children, my kids. Jesus Saved, thank you so much for believing your child. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Um, yeah, they abusers cannot handle it. They want to steal your joy, steal your childhood, but then the minute they have to face the consequences, they're all like, I'm gonna kill myself and oh, my life is ruined. Well, you ruined a child's life. We don't care about your life. We don't care about your life. If you abuse children, baby, I don't care about your life. I don't care what they do to you. And I'm a very compassionate person. I try my best to like be a person that has a heart, but I draw the line when it comes to predators, when it comes to child molesters, abusers. I have no mercy for you, no sympathy. All the jokes people make about what they do to you in prison, I'm here for it. Any other time, I'm against rape or anything like that in prison. But when it comes to child abusers, baby, I don't care what they do to you. I don't care. They can tear you to shreds because if you molest a child, you deserve everything that comes to you. Leave children alone. Leave children alone. Then you have to worry about people taking advantage of you in prison because you took advantage of children. Okay. And when it comes to child abusers, that's the only time that I'm like really down for the death penalty. Any other time, I'm mostly like, oh, they should just get life in prison. But I draw the line when it comes to children. You was a child. Okay, go to jail. Go to prison. Let them do what they do to you. Okay. Leave his cell unlocked tonight. Yeah. Do whatever. Okay. You ruined a child's life. Your life deserves to be ruined. There's I will never protect child abusers. I will never protect the families of child abusers. Like a lot of abusers are allowed to continue what they do because of their supporters or people who protect them, people who believe them. Oh yeah, I know you're a good guy. I know you would never do that. They're lying on you. They got it wrong. How can a normal adults will not go against a child when a child comes out and said they're being abused? A normal adult is going to be like, oh no, I believe the child, I'm gonna protect. But people who are sick in the head be like, oh, children lie and they say anything, they make things up. Oh no. If you are a sexual child abuser or you believe abusers or whatever, please don't ever, please unsubscribe from me. Please don't be in my chats. you know I don't want any that kind of energy on my channel. If you make excuses for child abusers, please exit my live stream. Please exit my channel. Don't even come around me. Leg drop says, and the worst ones are the psychopathic deviants. You ever seen the Cheris Periwinkle case? Horrible. I'm gonna look it up. Give me a little leg drop in the comment. I'm going to look it up right now. Let me look it up. I don't think I heard about it. Maybe I did. Leg drop says my abuser served only 10 years for CP charges. They keep them in separate part of the prison with other people like them when they're protected. He served the whole 10 years without getting touched. See, leg drop, stuff like that piss me off. You know what I'm saying? It pissed me off. And I know that old law say you have to be ethical with the punishment, ethical with how they serve, but how do people that steal children's innocence get protection? Like I need to I'm about to do some more. I'm gonna do some research on that. I just don't get it. I feel like that's the only people in prison that should be not protected is child abusers. Child abusers should not be protected. And child killers, if you kill a child or you sexually abuse a child, you should be out with the general population. Like, I don't get it. And leg drop, that's horrible. That's horrible that your abuser only got 10 years and they didn't get touched. But you know what? Leg drop, don't worry about it. They're gonna get theirs one day. They're gonna get theirs one day. It might not be now, it might not be tomorrow. Okay? They're gonna get theirs. And you didn't deserve that. But let me look up the Periwinkle case real quick before I get off live, y'all. It's late, I know. I didn't expect to be on this long. I feel like I'm squinting when I look at that. Jesus Save says 1 year jail and 20 years probation for mine. That's it? I thought it was too light. It is getting worse because my kid's abuser only got 2 years probation. God hates oppression, oppressors. That's horrible. That's horrible. Jesus Saves. I'm sorry. My heart goes out to anyone who my abusers did not get any jail time at all. I had one situation where the abuser was investigated, but nothing came of it. I don't even know what happened. It's like they asked questions and then no charges were brought against my abuser. My abuser, as far as I know, is living his best life. And I've had more than one abuser, but the one that was investigated, nothing happened. They just asked questions and that's all I know of. But no one went to jail. No one went to prison. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I'm going to look up the Cherish Periwinkle case real quick before I get off, y'all. I appreciate everyone who is subscribed to me. I appreciate anyone who is in this live stream. Please give this live a like. No, Jesus saved. I appreciate it. No worries. Like, we all have a story to tell. Leg drop says, look up that Cherish Periwinkle case. The monster is just chilling in prison and what he did to one of the worst I've ever heard of. Oh, no. Let me look it up. Cherish. Oh my gosh, I can't spell today. Cherish. Come on, Periwinkle. Okay. Come on, Google. Cherish. Okay. This is from Wikipedia, so I'm gonna read a little bit of this, okay? Okay. Cherish Lily Periwinkle, December 24th, 2004. She would have been 20 years old today. Anyway, so December 24th, 2004 to June 22nd, 2013 was an eight-year-old girl from Jacksonville, Florida, who was abducted from a Walmart. I heard about that case, like drop. It was like the mom was like a single mom or something like that, and she had all her kids in the store. And he offered to buy her a dress or something like that. And the mom was busy shopping and the guy walked out of the store with a little girl. Yes, I heard about that story. If this is the case, let me keep reading. She was seen on CCTV cameras leaving the store with a man named Donald James Smith. I heard about that story. Horrible story. Like the mom pissed me off. I get being overwhelmed. I get being stressed, but baby, how do you leave your eyes off so long that he was able to walk out the store with your daughter? And this is what predators do. They look for you being vulnerable, like, oh, you need some clothes, you're hungry, you're thirsty, you need this and that. I'll buy it for you. And I'm not saying that there's not good people who do things like that for you, but you gotta be high on alert. Have your child like this. Okay, if you wanna buy this for us, my child is right here. Buy it and we're leaving. If you're gonna do it smart, but don't. That's why we gotta teach our kids to say no to strangers. Y'all, this story was very disturbing. Very disturbing. And I want to see if they had the trial on TV. I can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, he just used her up and discarded her body. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. Thank you for reminding me about that story, like drop. So you guys, I'm gonna come off live now. I've been on way too long. It's late and I got things to do. I need to get ready for bed. I'm gonna take a shower and as you guys could probably tell, I am tired. I've been up all morning. Went to work, came home, did the mom thing, did the housekeeping thing, whatever. And now I gotta get ready for bed. But I just wanted to come on and talk about that story. I commend the mother who made the video called My Husband is a Monster. I commend her for following through with what she needed to do to get her children to safety. I'm proud of her. Single parents, take notes. When your child is showing signs of abuse or you notice signs of abuse, take action. Don't pretend that it's not happening. Don't question it. Don't be like, oh, he would never do that. Believe your child. Believe your child and just be on guard. Oh, thank you, Leg Drop. It was nice talking to you too. So if you guys are not already subscribed, please do so. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I am a survivor of childhood trauma, and that's what motivated me to make this channel, to share stories of other survivors and to talk about my story a little bit. My story is really deep and long, so you're gonna hear little things and clues, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Being a survivor of childhood abuse is a lot. And even if you have worked through certain things, it's a heavy thing to carry. And it's a lot to want to be comfortable and vulnerable enough to share it with the world. Some people don't need to hear everything about what happened to you. Just know that I'm a survivor and I support survivors. And don't let anybody make you feel bad or guilty for what happened to you. You should not feel bad or guilty for being abused, okay? The abuser should be feeling bad or guilty, not you. And just, yeah, that's it. Love yourself. Love yourself. If no one is supporting you, support yourself. Love yourself. And just reach out to any resources that you can find. Always check my video descriptions because I always try my best to leave resources for you guys as much as possible anyway. But yeah, I'm rambling at this point, but please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really, really appreciate your support. If you were in the chats in the beginning, the middle, or the end, I appreciate your support. And shout out to me for figuring out how to do subscriber mode only live stream. And thank you so much to Embracing Life for helping me figure out some things. Start over. Thank you so much to Embracing Life for helping me with trying to figure out this thing. You are, I really appreciate you. So, all right, I feel like I'm talking too much. Anyways, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you in another live stream. I will try my best to go live tomorrow. I don't know when you'll get a video, y'all. Videos are actually harder for me to post because I'm just busy. I'm a busy single mom. And I'm not even as busy as I could be, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, trying to work, have me time, spend time with your children, take care of home. It's not easy. So going live is just so much easier for me. And that's why I do it. So, but I will post a video as soon as I can. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I try my best to post videos at least once a week. And I don't get to do it that much lately. But I know I need to post more, but it's just not as easy. So going live helps me to get it out there without delay. Yeah. All right. Again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. See ya.